けてたホワイマン。てめえと差しで交渉がして。
何を？差しで交渉？
What kind of demands is he asking for?
人類とてめえら機械生物の命運を決める直接対決だ。
What is he thinking of? Okay. Pretty interesting way to take it. So it is aliens. I didn't think that each of the Medusa was an alien, but if I think about it a little bit more, they look more like foreign objects, but they're like machine, AI machines, artificial intelligence. It all comes back to AI, doesn't it, huh? And then if you were thinking perfectly logical, it is a valid question. Like, if you value life so much, you wouldn't want to die and stuff, right? So you petrify them. So they were trying to show them that there is this kind of gift. Then they overestimated humans. Maybe they should have petrified, like, us, not the entire planet, maybe half the planet, you know? Does there need to petrify the entire planet? Ushers of an exhilarating future. Well, for sure. Now they have eternal life. If they want it. Which, I suppose... Would they want it? Would they want to grow old? Or is it better for everyone to be preserved forever and not be able to die? Or do they still get old? Alright. And if that, would that be a good trade-off? To have this power of petrification and living forever and everything. And you have to host these aliens, but you get the power of never dying. I think they would want to die at some point. They wouldn't want to live forever. But once you break those rules, you can't tell if they still... Maybe you still age and eventually you get too old and you want to... Like, it heals everything. But that just means maybe you can have a full life. But then you'd also have to, like, worry that someone might engulf the entire damn planet in the thing and turn everyone to stone again. So you need to have some sort of device to ensure. I don't know if they're gonna say yes or no. Is Senku gonna negotiate to have them exist on the planet and be so that they can use them? It would be a big help for humanity, I guess. They would be able to advance their tech and, like, do so much with it. I think as a species, they would probably want to, like, have this Medusa available to them. I know in some stories, the ability to die and, like, is just it's something that people don't want. They just don't want to live forever. But this story, maybe it'll be a good thing, and then they can get into like the next more utopian society faster. Because then there's no turning back to pre. I mean, I guess if they left, if they agreed and just left them. But I think the better thing is to accept these aliens and like use it to their advantage. And yeah, they'll have to keep their life with the diamonds and stuff, but there's going to be a lot of complications with that. But they can make all of humanity like a near utopia pretty quickly, and really focus on like evolving as a species and all. But they would have to solve the problems of making sure that no one engulfs the entire Earth, or if they do, there's an easy way to turn it back, or like, I don't know. Oh, but then they have to live in a vacuum, so they either... Oh, and it wasn't a misfire. He was able to do the thing themselves. So as long as they were in a vacuum, I knew it had something to... I thought it had something to do with the vacuum. When I saw that scene, I was like... Because they were hinting that something happened because they placed them in the vacuum. And I guess that was a hint that it is an alien. Interesting. So, Wyman is not necessarily antagonistic. It's there to help them. Help humanity. It just kind of turned them all into stone in the process. Interesting twist. I didn't quite see the part where it was helping humanity. Trying to help humanity. I thought they really played it up on like it was going to be an antagonist trying to like destroy all of humanity or something like that. But no, it was a different way to frame it. I bet some people were able to see this twist coming. I've never really read up on discussions of and theories of Dr. Stone, but I wonder if anyone was able to guess it. Anime only able to guess the twist. I certainly didn't think that much through of it. I think it's because the time periods that I was watching Dr. Stone were like so far apart that I just like... It was tough to kind of remember everything that was going on. Like the first 2 seasons was very localized in terms of its conflict, but it kind of grew and grew until we're back into the major space alien one. But sometimes it was kind of hard to remember that there's this like what started out everything in the first place was like technically an assault on humanity. I'm content with this. This kind of twist is like, it makes me... I'm not unsatisfied with it. I'm like content. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of nice. That explains a lot and reframes a lot of other stuff. I wonder if there's been any other shows that are the twist is like shocking. This one is like works well. Comfortable twist. Hmm. Well, one more episode. I'm excited to see what happens in their future. What humanity looks like. Might not record that one, cause now the twist is fully revealed. I can imagine that. Okay, maybe I have to guess what happens next episode. They had the Stanley the fighter and like the shooter pilot and Kohaku the fighter, but I think they're not gonna need any fighting, because how would you even fight that? And like they can't petrify the other Medusas, I think. Alright. So it's gonna end like a very they advance far into future tech and all that, I think. Because I don't think they're gonna want to return back to the Stone Age, right? This is moving forward, kind of like how things are now that they've encountered intelligent life. That was actually like peaceful, intelligent life, turns out, not trying to destroy all of humanity. It's interesting that they use English, or maybe it's coded to like any language would work. It's just, but they actually only always say it in English, 1 meter 1 second. They never say the Japanese equivalent of that. I don't even know what the Japanese equivalent of that would be. Ichi meter. Ichi second. Speaking of which, Ishigami. I think Ishi means stone. I saw a video going like, that's why it's called Dr. Stone. Ishigami Senku. Is it Ishi? Gami or Ishigami? Whatever. I'm not trying to learn Japanese here. Learn enough just to understand it from watching videos, but don't speak a lick of it. Speaking language is too hard for me. I'm too dumb for a new language at this point. Although, I guess the only way to know is by trying. Maybe it's worth it. No subtitles? But even nowadays, when I watch English stuff, I usually have subtitles. Because, like, sometimes you just don't understand what they're saying. Sometimes they're speaking real softly and quietly. Sometimes their accent is just too heavy for me. So I end up reading the subtitles, even for English anyways. And sometimes they're just, it's a jumble of words and you don't understand what they're saying. So maybe reading Japanese subtitles isn't that bad. Like, the idea of watching with the subtitles could push one to like learn Japanese to watch anime with the subtitles. But when I think about it, oftentimes I have subtitles on English stuff anyways, so it's definitely more immersive without subtitles. But nowadays, it's the way they like film stuff. Sometimes you just miss what they're saying if there are no subtitles. So, I don't know. Even if I understood Japanese, I think I would have subtitles on. Especially if they get to like complex things and stuff. And recently it started, like JoJo sometimes plays on my TV because of the Samsung TV channel. Sometimes I'll accidentally pop on because of this funny thing in my house anyways. And there are no subtitles and it's all in Japanese, but I'm starting to understand some of the lines. I mean, a lot of the lines they say are just like hilarious ones, right? That like a lot of times they're going like Jojo, Jojo. I don't know what else they say, but it's all very easy to understand lines. So no subtitles needed there. Having no subtitles is kind of fun sometimes. Fun review. Maybe probably won't. I'll probably have, once I've finished the series, next episode, I'll probably make a video talking about just thoughts overall. I think so as a series, just a bit of spoiler, but I think as a series, I've enjoyed Doctor Stone. Like a solid 8 point something out of 10. The series overall. I mean, last episode withstanding, but so far it's been enjoyable. I know this last season has felt kind of like they're really trying to rush the end here to show what the result is. But overall, it's been a pretty fun series, seeing the grow from zero to now where they are meeting up with alien life. And then each character being so ridiculous and fun and having their own personality, quirky personality. And then episodes like the one with Suika growing, like spending 7 years to relearn everything. It's been a fun journey. I've liked Doctor Stone. It's like a solid watch. It's not the most amazing series out there, but like the overall premise, it's had its kind of, there were some ups, there were some downs, and then it hooked me for a little bit, and enough that it was like I kind of want to find out what the mystery is, watch the end, and see how it resolves. So it's been pretty fun. I've liked the series as a whole. I'm gonna check out the, come to think of it, the anime discussion thread. 21 hours ago on r/anime Reddit. Only 606 points. I guess it has a long running series. There's fewer and fewer people watching it. But only, and like the longer series runs, the less likely it is to upvote and everything, I think. And like fewer people. Petrification is interesting. Equals immortality thing's interesting because you can still think. So technically speaking, it is a form of immortality. And not breaking a statue would cause, not even breaking a statue would cause permanent death if they stay awake. Death is only confirmed if they are unpetrified. Yeah. Humans, communication and collaboration is so linked to being alive and advancement that petrification is the next thing's closest to death, which Wyman didn't understand. Yeah. They're looking for a life form that are content in their own head for eternity. When they would immediately try to seek to be petrified again, and would create and maintain Medusa's process. But Bunch of aliens with bad communication skills. Yes, what I meant was, to be fair, the way they think is alien. Yeah, that makes sense. We assume all life must be carbon-based. They assume all life is mechanical. Interesting. This point seems surreal. It is a little far-fetched, but you know, we kind of suspend our disbelief, and it makes a good series then, like fun. Like getting back to rockets in their lifetime, like he would be much older. He would be like Senku would be significantly older, but he looks exactly the same. I wish they aged him as the series went on and like took years to do things. Like I wish they showed him grow older. That's one thing I think they missed out on. Unless being petrified means they're locked into this state forever, and they literally no longer grow. Which I don't know. Anyways. Thinking conservation tool. Curious to know what Senku wants basic guesses knowledge. I think they want to know, like, it would be beneficial to them of sorts, but I don't know if they want immortality, but like immortality outright might be too crazy. Each Medusa can guess that each Medusa was basically intelligent being. Yeah. We can bring you back from the dead as well. Oh yeah, Kaseki is basically immortal now too. He's so much energy. Fake Senku got me again, right alongside Kohaku. Show off the value of eternal. Would they have tried actually petrifying all three of them, or only trying to petrify one of them? Because, like, I think... Oh, because in the capsule it was in a vacuum already? Was he already in a vacuum? Yeah. No, he wasn't in a vacuum. I don't know, actually. He was in a vacuum, but then he got released into space with the rest of his body, or people. So a ton of them died just to try and show them, and made basically that pyramid of Medusas, just to show them about the ability of petrification. And then they used the Medusas as an armor. So they strapped their dead bodies and dissected an alien, technically, too, Joel. Massive misunderstanding between two species. I'd like to believe that any sufficiently advanced species would scout and gather intel, but decode language the whole concept of diplomacy, tactile approach is very human. Yeah, it's hard to say what a truly an alien would be, right? They wouldn't. Who knows how they would. It's like it's lucky that it's not like a bad alien, like a super evil alien here. They're still like kind of reasonable or logical of sorts. Afraid of rusting, so they didn't want to die. They don't like dying. Again was right. First contact always starts with a gift. Oh, that's what Y-Man was doing too. But maybe they shouldn't have petrified the entire world. Although, was it breaking out based on intelligence? Yeah, peak geniuses needed 3,700 years. It just fundamentally overestimated them. Humanity's too dumb, yes. Yeah, more than fine with this plot twist. Me too. Humanity gets to live longer, healthier. Parasites have a symbiotic relationship. I don't think you understand the conversation. Having two species fundamentally compatible isn't smart enough to use the good of petrification. Difficult. What they offer scientific environments. True requirement for all carbon. They can live in containers. The ball just like Rocky in that one movie, and move around. If they can hover and explore humanity, maybe that's how they learn about humanity and what being human is. They teach each other things. That'd be an interesting future. And then we get like you can live as long as you want kind of thing, or like no more injuries and accidents and death from that or something like that. I think there is some sort of negotiation to be had here where it can benefit humanity without exactly going back to what we were before, which wasn't necessarily on a good path either, right? Because people fundamentally had like disagreements with war and like all that kind of stuff, right? And now, I don't know if they want to unpetrify all of humanity, but who knows? Maybe everyone will get along in the post-Medusa era. They cut up and murdered a ton of those aliens, yeah. Far too rusted. Oh, they were dead, right? Because they entered an oxygen poison. No way human can live 1,000 years, so I had to be alien. Yeah, I thought maybe it might be like time travel and potentially, but they didn't hint at any existence of that. It's really grounded in reality, except the whole Medusa thing. So this is better. I like this better. I think if it was some sort of time traveling Senku, I've been like, I don't know if I would like that. I actually like this here. I thought maybe it was like given it was his voice, but no, they were just really good at replicating his voice. I told myself this was about the journey. I'm okay with this. It was always going to be aliens or AI. I just didn't expect it to be alien AI. There's no other way. I'm happy with what we got. Me too. I'm content. It's not like mind-blowing. I think, pending last episode, but up until here, it's been a good journey. I give it like an 8.3 to 8.5, I think. I think 8.5 is a solid place for me to put it as a series as a whole. I found it fairly enjoyable. The choice was awful. Solid 85%. If I got 85% on my final, I would be quite happy on that as my final grade. I'd be like, damn, 85%. That would be one of my higher grades, actually. Probably one of my highest if I got 85%. Which is really sad, actually, now that I think about it, but it's crazy. I used to get like decent grades in high school too, and then 85 would be like whatever, but then at university 85 was like way too much. It's like I never saw an 85, I think. Ill-intentioned humans that colonized the moon. That would have been dumb, yeah. How are we able to escape NASA and other space agencies' long sight enough to petrify us? I did think about that, like, something like this, I feel like they would have caught attention, and maybe the other governments and stuff were trying to hold it a secret, or maybe they move really, really quickly, or I don't know. Not a long time, just a couple of days. And like, people would have spot like a big black spot on the moon, right? But then again, did need a telescope, so unless people were like looking around, monitoring the moon all the time, maybe there were some people online that was like, oh, that was a thing that they saw on the moon before they got petrified, because there's nothing they can do to stop them. And yeah, basement episode of Dr. Stone. I never watched that show, Attack on Titan, but I know what they're talking about. Reaction reveal has been amusing, considering anything human as the answer would have made no sense. My leading guess was a human that invented or discovered the Medusa. Although, yeah, I kind of like this. Wondering how it could live up to the hype, and I'm stunned by how good it is. It's not amazing, but it's like it's content. Reveal was perfect, made a lot of sense. Didn't expect so many loose ends to be tied up. Yeah, very, very, very clever. Shocked by the moon villain was there the whole time. Medusa was actually why himself and not his tool. Yeah, he's been here the whole time. The final battle about intellect. Always the damn clinkers. This is expected. Break out quickly. Well, it made sense when reading it in the manga, going, oh, okay, that explains it satisfactorily so away, but anime was able to the scenographic justice that the print couldn't convey, having separate voices. Yeah, that would be interesting. Stanley. Got his name wrong on his backpack. Interesting. You petrify humanity and no one can make our batteries. They thought every human had Senku's brain. and everyone would be more intelligent, a lot more intelligent than Senku. Makes you wonder how smart other species are. Dr. Stone in space with aliens next. Adventures of Dr. Stone in space. Last episode, they're gonna be like much far into the future with all their like space shit, like, just like Sword Art. I recently watched that, and then now they return and they're like in fighter jets and shit, in Alicization in the world. Fun series. You know what's interesting? I'm also watching right now Danmachi. That's a whole nother explanation. Maybe that'll be a different video. I've been blabbering on for an hour. This video is only supposed to be like 24 minutes. I'm probably not going to. Maybe I'll cut it into 2. Reaction and then post reaction, because an hour is a little long. Anyways, bye bye.